Hi guys. So this is Dr. Prashanth, Faculty of Gastroenterology in DocTutorials. So I'm happy to share with you an amazing news. We have with us today Dr. Kartikeya Mathur, who has secured AIMS Merit List 8 and Common Merit List 9. So it's an amazing news for us as DocTutorials fraternity to share the success stories of our students here. So I'm really happy to introduce to you Dr. Kartikeya Mathur, who has currently scored an amazing rank. So, hi, Dr. Kartikeya.
Hello, sir. Very happy to be here with you, sir. It's been a dream. Thank you, sir, for having me here.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to share your stories. Congratulations once again. It gives us
Thank
deep, immense pleasure as a teacher to be part of your success story. So, as usual, just want to start off with your background story. Why gastroenterology and what really made you, ultimately, get the summit of whatever you have reached?
you. Sir, actually, in my second year of MD medicine only, I've decided that I'm going to enroll myself for a DM course. I'm going to prepare like that. And
Okay.
I had two branches sorted out. Like one was gastroenterology, one was nephrology, sir. But during the due course, I had like my gastroenterology and nephrology postings. And like the interventions in gastroenterology, sir, they fascinated me a lot, sir. The endoscopies, the colonoscopies, and the ERCP. So at that time only, I decided that I'm gonna choose this branch as my future. So
Okay.
that is where it started off, and even the non-intervention part of it, sir. The analyzing the LFTs, the correlating the things, and the newer drugs. They all always fascinated me, sir. So I think that is how I got interest in this
Okay.
subject, sir.
Okay. Okay. So during your MD, you had two choices, and then in due course, you narrowed it down to
Yes, sir.
gastroenterology. That's nice. So where did
Yes.
you do your MD? Like, where did you do your UG and PG?
Yes, sir. Sir, I belong to Udaipur, Rajasthan, sir. And by God's grace, I have been able to do my MBBS and MD medicine from Udaipur, Rajasthan itself, sir, RNT Medical College.
Okay.
So
Nice.
it's been here, sir. It's there.
Okay, cool. So it's like, how is your family feeling? It must be really great news for them. It's like even NEET SS, you've got a wonderful rank, and then INI SS. Usually once NEET SS rank comes, people are more relaxed. But then you still manage to get this, and then get across, come to the interview, mock session, and then the actual interview, and then perform well. So really amazing news. So how is the family taking it?
Sir, they are very happy, sir. And I must say that they are the reason behind my success, sir. Because they do not belong to this background, sir. Still, they supported me. And that is why I am here, sir. The most important thing, sir. And they are really happy. And I cannot express in words how happy they are.
Good, great. So when we come from a non-medical background, and then you spend almost quite some years, almost
Yes,
a
sir.
decade and little more to get to
Yes,
this
sir.
stage, people should have more patience and not expect too much. We should not get burnt out with that what's happening and a lot of things. So it's nice to know that you had family all around, all the way with you,
Yes,
ultimately to achieve whatever you have achieved. So it's a great rank. So as usual, we have had wonderful stories before where students have shared their strategies on how it helped them especially face the common open round followed by interview round. So let's first go point by point. When it
yes.
came to MCQs, no, NEET, again the pattern changed recently, and then NESS differently. How did you manage between both of them? First question.
Sir, to be honest, I started early, sir. I started in my second year of MD medicine. I think that was the most important point. That is the take home message, sir. So, what it helped me was I had more options to explore in my second year of MD medicine. So, at that time, sir, as you told, there was previous pattern in which you have to focus on your core specialty, both for INI and NEET SS. So, at that time, I studied gastroenterology in detail. Even in my rounds, I used to focus on the gastroenterology patients. I used to read Schlesinger case by case. Like that, I used to focus. So by the end of my MD medicine tenure, I was able to read like 30 to 40% of the Schlesinger, sir. Then the second thing that I did was, even in my MD days only, sir, I had one INISS, the last INISS in the month of April, sir. So I attempted it even though I had only 15 to 20-day preparation, sir. So I
Okay.
attempted it. I got a rank of 30, sir. I was not called for interview, but it gave me a boost that, okay, fine, I can even do it in 15 to 20-day preparation, sir. And then I appeared for NEET assessor. So at that time, I shifted to general medicine. I studied general medicine properly, and then I gave the NEET assess. Then, sir, after NEET assess, as I have already completed my gastroenterology, so it became a bit easy. And also I had experience of one INA exam, so I knew that they are shifting towards general medicine also. There are like 30 questions of general medicine, 4 5
Yes.
questions of biostatistics, so I was
Yes.
prepared for those things.
Okay.
And then gastroenterology, as I have already done in my MD days, so these all things like fit up, and somehow I managed to get this rank, sir. That is how it was.
Okay, good. So when the entire country, significant proportion people are trying, so you concentrated totally. Good thing is you started early by narrowing down the
Yes, sir.
topics. Then you had almost studied 40 to 50% of Schlesinger, and then though the change of NEET essays, you could balance it out and do Harrison's, and then you took it as a stepping stone for your INE essays because 30 questions are also from outside gastroenterology. So
Yes,
that's great. So, how much time do you think is required to, crack an exam? You think 15 to 20 days is enough, or basically, if somebody hasn't started anything, like how many days it could take?
it would vary for both NEET SS or INSS, I would say, sir. First of all, like somebody wants to start today for a NEET SS or INSS, first of all, I would like to say that one should target NEET SS first, for the simple reason that number of seats are more in NEET SS, and in the end, you have to be a DM gastroenterologist first rather than taking it from a college. That should be, I think, the basic strategy. Then,
Yes.
once you are done with your NEET SS, you can now prepare INSS within 2 months. That is what I can say. But NEET SS preparation requires a minimum of, I would say, 4 to 5 months, sir, if one has
Okay.
not started else. So that should be, I think, a rough timeline that one should follow. I am taking extra margins, sir, because of safety. That is what I can say, sir. This
Okay.
this would be sufficient, sir. That would I can say, sir.
Okay. Totally around 6 months, 4 months for general medicine, including some gastro in that, followed
Yes, sir.
by this. Okay.
Yes.
So how did you, were you also working when you were preparing?
Yes, sir. Actually, I had completed my MD medicine in June only, sir. So
Okay.
till then, I was working only, and then after June, sir, I had not joined anywhere. So I
Okay.
was focusing on
Focus.
exams only, sir. That is what it was, sir.
Okay, okay. So when you prepared, like, see, Schlesinger is just too much to read, and Harrison also is too much to read. How did you like focus on important topics? What really helped you to focus on important topics for MCQs?
Sir, actually, I had joined institutions first, sir. Actually, the coaching institutes I had joined very early, sir. And with
Okay.
Doc Tutorial also, sir, it has helped me a lot with what you asked, sir, in narrowing down things, sir. This is very, very important thing, sir, I would say. And secondly, sir, the like a Doc Tutorial question bank I used to follow. Your test and discussion tests I used to see, sir. So
Okay.
even though I performed poorly in some of the tests, they told me that okay, these are the topics that are asked in the exam. And then repeatedly I used to do them, sir. Question bank I did twice like that. And then I used
Okay.
to the one thing that was very good about DocTutorial was that every Sunday there used to be a test. So every
Okay.
Sunday I used to take that test. I used to get okay, fine, these are the topics that will come. And the
Okay.
previous INI itself was a preparation for me, sir, because it told that
Yes.
okay, fine, these are the things that are gonna ask, that they are asking. So these are the things, sir. And one thing that I had done, maybe somebody may skip that basically I used to think that whatever the consultants used to ask in the rounds, I used to always
Okay.
write it down. I
Okay.
had that gut feeling that maybe they are asking the things that are really important in life. That is what I used to feel, sir. So even like a patient of CLD, if some a consultant is taking around, he's asking something, I used to write. And these helped me, sir, in the end, in the broader aspect. I used to read them going home, and they helped me, sir. That is what.
Nice, nice. So that's good. So you feel that though it's like an ocean, the amount of topics that you have to read, you can select a few important questions and topics based on the questions that you get in question bank, and repeated
Yes, sir.
reviewing of your weaknesses and concentrating there consistently made you a better person at solving these questions. So that's great. So the take home message from you for the students preparing for gastro is basically stay focused, and give regular question banks, and try to get the important topics out. And of course, if you're an MD student, concentrate, try to narrow down the subject quite early, and then you start your journey right from second year of MD if feasible. That's
Yes, sir.
great.
To add
So
to this, sir, I think your videos, sir, they also helped me, sir. One thing I loved about your videos, was that your pinpoint on this thing, that this is gonna ask. You even used to tell some small mnemonics, some visual mnemonics, I used to remember, sir. And even, narrowing down the things. Okay, fine. Even in this topic, this thing is asked. So I think that also helps, sir. Because
Yes.
like reading a chapter from Schlesinger or a textbook is very vast, but you used to tell very significant, okay, these points are important. So that is also, I think, worth
It's
mentioning.
important because from experience it comes to see in a table, in a picture, what to
Yes,
see,
sir.
what they
Yes, sir.
can ask, and
Exactly.
that helps you. That makes it more interesting. Also, of
Yes, sir.
late, a lot of clinical approach-based questions are asking. So ultimately, that table is it clinically translating and things like that. And we all have difficulties at same phase. Even now we can tell that lipid metabolism is a difficult question if
Yes,
they
sir.
ask in general medicine. We can
Yes,
know
sir.
that there will be two common ones like von Willebrand's disease and Bernard-Soulier, two similar things. So there are similar things where students
Yes, sir.
tend to make mistake, and it's our duty to try to simplify at that particular point. So the same rule also applies to gastroenterology, where there are common topics and common ways of thinking. A difficult one can be simplified. So I think with the recent change in the in the book, also the edition change, the QRP had to be completely revised for the
Yes, sir.
new topic. So those all must have really helped. So thank you. So it was a good opportunity for us to keep updating. There are new things. And I remember you on WhatsApp, you used to regularly ask me questions
Yes,
on
sir.
so what's happened, what's new in this, what's the best answer for this. So you are always as a person, I remember you as a very inquisitive person,
Yes, sir.
really trying to target specifically, try to get the answer, and just not even if you get an answer by fluke, you go back and see why that was the answer.
Yes,
Am I
sir.
going to answer it again if it comes in a little different packet? So that's
Exactly.
good. So I remember there are some students who always keep in touch, and even if
Yes,
I
sir.
forget to get back to them, they come back the next day and tell, sir, this I haven't understood, so what do you think it is, and things like that. So that's good.
And,
So
and I
good.
would like to add here, sir. I would like to add, as you have mentioned our conversation, sir, you used to reply it not only by a text message, you used to reply it by voice messages, sir. Those are literally, sir, those are very precious to me, sir. You used to explain the entire concept in that voice message, sir. I am great and very thankful to you for that, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure. If it's really helped you, there's nothing more for us. We wait for these moments where we get this small feedbacks, so we get better for the next level of students. So that was good. So you got your MCQ, so you got NEET SS and a good one here. But how did you manage for the interview round? How did you think that? What helped you for the interview round actually?
So first of all, the two sessions by you, sir. Those were, I think, the most important sessions that were conducted, sir. In those sessions, sir, you told us everything that is needed for an interview, sir. You started off by telling that how they will ask you, and then you asked each one of us some question, and then the approach, and then we have to answer it. Like in interview, the major thing is that how you deliver your answer. It is not they know that you already have good knowledge. That is why you are in one of those who are in the interview round. But they want to see that how you speak out the answer. And sir,
Absolutely.
that is where you helped us, sir. In the interview round also, only, sir, I understood that I know the answers, but I don't know how to speak most of them. So I think, sir, that is the most important thing that you told. Even you told some basic approaches that are there, and you told us that okay, these are the 10 approaches, there cannot be any other approach. And literally, sir, there was no other approach. I think they asked specifically those questions. And then, sir, once we are into, like, we are answering the question, they go deep into it. And that nobody can predict, sir. But the
Yes,
important thing,
that
sir,
can.
that what I feel is that you need to have a correct approach. The one or two answers that you give in the beginning, that decides that what is the fate that you have. And you should not answer something which you don't know. There is no room for blunder, sir, I feel, sir, that in
Yes.
interview round, sir. That is the basic funda that I took in also, sir, for the interviews.
That's great. So good. We had good number of students for the interview mock session. So what we generally tend to do is speak out the questions and talk it out, and think about different approaches, and then go ahead. So good that it really helped you. The take home message was like when each of the students, around 10 14 students were with us, and each of them got a scenario, and everybody were answering in a systematic way. Also, you were curated for answering the question and what's expected. And it's just like a small game where you have good number of people around you. Of course, their intention is not to push you down, but to lift you.
Yes.
So the expected questions were again known. So, and what was the pattern of interview this time? Like for the students who are preparing next, where it just approaches, where the spotters, what was the questions based on? Did you have to know a lot of numbers to answer them, like specific answer? Like how do you gauge the interview was?
Sir, actually, like my interview, it was a mix of what all you said, sir. It started off with a basic approach. It was like a patient has come with this. What is your, what will you do? It was like, what will you do? It was not like you will take history, examination, or investigation. It was just like a open-ended game, sir. They told, what will you do? And then once I used to answer it, then they used to change the slide. And if I was right, then they used to show that. Like suppose, I used to say that, okay, I'm going to do a ultrasound abdomen. So if that was right, they used to show the image of the ultrasound abdomen. And next they used to ask, okay, comment on this. And then if I told it right, then next step was maybe an ERCP or an MRCP image. They even went till a liver biopsy in my case, sir. So that was, I think, maybe a good sign that, okay, I was right the whole way. And then, sir, once you have answered everything, there can be some very to the point questions also, sir. Like maybe a diameter of CBD, or maybe a pressure, what is there, or any very specific things, but they will come not in the start of the interview. They will come along the way as you have answered the things. And then they even asked me some recent guidelines also, sir, even towards the end. So that was one more thing, sir, they asked. And then that was one thing that, okay, I didn't know it. I didn't know the guidelines, but
No.
It was not the first question that I would say, sir. It came in the last.
It went in a graded manner
Graded
to
manner,
see
yes, sir.
at what level you would stop probably. So that's good. So ultimately, you have done a good job, and a seat is definitely waiting for you in maybe in few days. You would know where exactly you end up.
Yes, sir.
So we as people should have, we have a lot of people who have contributed to what we have achieved till now, may it
Exactly,
be
sir.
as a consultant or may it be as a student. So do you have any special words for people who think really played a major role in your achievement?
Definitely, sir. Definitely, sir. And I would like to start with DocTutorials, sir. First of all, sir. Actually, I joined the DocTutorials like 6 months back, just before 1 week before my earlier INI exam, sir. That is April. That was. And I took one grand test of DocTutorial, and I found it very different from other institutes. First of all, I would like to say. And then when I appeared for INI exam, I found that INI exam to be very similar to what the DocTutorials test was. So that is where I got confidence in this institute, sir. And then later, sir, the test and discussion sessions of DocTutorials, they were amazing, sir, I would say. The one thing that is very close to my heart that DocTutorial has done, I would love to mention it here, that after my NEET SS exam, sir, it was like 20 days after the exam, I had decided I will not appear for INI. I will be content with this rank. I will not prepare for 2 months. DocTutorial Institute, they called me. They told me that we are giving you a free subscription. You please prepare for it.
Oh,
And
okay.
when I was about to say no, please give it to somebody else. I will not do it. They cut the phone, and then they opened my subscription. So that is where, sir, I think the kick was given by DocTutorial only, sir. And I would love to mention this here. Even I talked to you on call, sir, and you told that it's fine. Don't take too much pressure. You already got a seat. Just prepare silently for this exam, and you never know. Maybe you can end up in top 10. And so that is what has happened to me, sir. So that was one thing. That was a very kind of DocTutorial. The next, sir, I would love to extend the thanks to my entire family, sir, particularly my parents. I have lived with them in these 10 years, sir, of my life, very important years, and it is all because of them that I have qualified 3 of my entrances in the very first attempt, sir. So I have to give it to them. Lastly, I would love to mention my MD medicine guide, sir, Dr. DP Singh, sir, Dr. Hemant Maur, sir. Uh, I think they have trained me as a physician, and now it is important that they wanted to see me as a super specialist, and that is what I can do it now. So
Great,
that's it.
great. Nice to really know that. And I didn't know that so many things had happened where you were given a subscription after your NEET tests. And yeah, I do remember telling you to go,
Yes, sir.
silently also prepare for this. Then, of course, parents are always there for us, and then you're lucky to have good guides who were
Yes, sir.
pushed you up. Great. I'm really happy to share your success story with
Thank you,
our
sir.
students. So it's a real great pleasure for me to be a part of your success, Dr. Kartikeya.
Thank you,
So
sir.
the story doesn't end here. Once you get a seat and you are into our the DM course, and then you come out with flying colors, you should always
Yes,
keep in touch with us. We will be with you around. So
thank you, sir.
we have future plans of getting DM curriculums in line, and where we would require your inputs a lot. So keep in touch, and we would be also there with you always. And I know you're an inquisitive guy. You would get back to me on WhatsApp
Yes,
again,
sir.
even for cases. So
I will.
I
I
note
will
that.
always trouble you, sir. I will always trouble you on WhatsApp,
Not
though.
trouble at all, at all. Thank you, Dr. Kartikeya. It's my pleasure to be here. It's our
Thank you
privilege
so
to
much.
be with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. You have honored me,
Thanks.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.